Hello, myself Dr. Avinash Dwivedi, Computer Science Department, James Greater Noida. Today we will discuss about one topic of Java, that is class and inheritance in Java. And the topics which we will cover today are object-oriented programming, class in Java, how to define a class in Java, and how to write Java program. So first we need to understand object-oriented programming. What is object-oriented programming and how it is related with our real life? Object-oriented programming means there is everything that is object. Means whatever we are talking, whatever we are doing, that we will do with the help of object only. And if there is object and object-oriented programming, then we have to take care that our language follows at least four properties. One is inheritance, second in abstraction, encapsulation, and polymorphism. In object-oriented programming, we take example from real life. As happens in real life, one object of one class communicate with another object of another class. Like carpenter is a class, but Sunil may be a carpenter in physical. Similarly, when we say there is employee, employee is a class, but Ramesh is an employee. So how we define class and how we say that a class is an entity that determines how an object will behave and what the object will contain. So class is a blueprint that tells how objects will behave, and the whole concept is confined in class. So what is object? Object is actually physical existence of any class, and we say class as blueprint of an object. And what class contains? Class contains methods and behaviors of an object. And if there is carpenter, then carpenter should have knowledge of carpentry. Similarly, if there is a car, then car should have some properties and some behavior. On that basis, we say there is existence of car. And when we say Maruti, Maruti is actual car and car is logical one. So a class represent a concept and object represent the embodiment of the concept. Multiple objects can be created from the same class. There may be indefinite. Means if we say student, student is a class, but there may be infinite number of students. So we take one example. If we say furniture, furniture contains lots of uh, different types of furnitures. But if I say furniture, it doesn't mean actually any physical furniture. But when we say this is a chair, this is a table, this is a bed, this is a almirah, or whatsoever, so those things are actually physically exist. That is why that is object, and furniture is a class. So what class contains? Because class is a logical unit and object is a physical unit. So class contains fields, methods, constructors, blocks, and class also contains class within class, and it also contains interface. So these are component of any class. Now to understand object, we need to see in detail. And if there is an object, then it has a state that defines its descriptive characteristics. Like if I say student, then student will contain his name, his father's name, mother's name, roll number, class. So these are what states. And second important thing is behavior, what it can do. So what student do here? Student study. Similarly, carpenter do carpenting, plumber do plumbing, and cricketer play cricket. Like that object behaves. So there are two important things which every object contains. One is state and second one is behavior. And in terms of programming, methods are its behavior and instance variables are states of an object. So the state of a bank account includes its account number and its current balance. The behavior of associated with a bank account include the ability to make deposit and withdrawal. So deposit and withdrawals are behavior, and amount which that customer contains is state. So object is an object is nothing but a self-contained component which consider methods and properties to make a particular type of data useful. So from object and object oriented programming concern, everything is object, and object communicates with another object to get any work completed. So how we define and how we differentiate objects and class? Class is a blueprint or prototype, and objects are physically existing entities. So if we take another example, and example is of dog. Dog is a class, and there may be different kind of dogs. And in this example, if we take three different kinds of dogs, so three different kinds of dogs are what? Objects. And dog is a logical class. So what dog contains? The dogs have different properties, that is field, what is his or her breed, size, color, age. These are what? Fields. And what dogs do exactly? Dogs can eat, run, sleep, and name that dogs may contain. So these are what? Methods. As we discussed earlier, in any object there are two things. One is event and second one is behavior, state. So there are some properties and some methods. So far we have defined following things with respect to dog class. So the name of class is dog, and data members are, means states are breed, size, color, and age. And behaviors are, or methods are, dogs can eat, run, sleep, and name. So in this example, we have considered three objects. One breed name is Bulldog. Its size is large. Color is light gray. Age is 5 years. So every objects contain their own values, their own states, and they have their own fields. They have different sets of values, and the behavior they contains are almost similar. They eat, they run, they sleep, they name. Similarly, if we talk about a person, so again persons have their states and their behaviors, and if they follow the same kind of behaviors, then we say that is person. If behaviors are different, we classify them in different class. So the point comes, how to create class and objects in Java. So while creating a class in Java, one term that comes in every program is class, because in object oriented Java programming, things starts with its class. So we use term class, then we mention any user defined name, and we can say that a class name. And what it contains variable and methods. Now point is how to create any object. To create any object, we need to use new keyword. And the syntax of object creation is, we mention the class name and the name which we want to give to object, equal new terms that will create memory location for any object. And in this case, that object will exist physically. And at last we mention constructor name, and constructor name and class name should be same, and parenthesis says that it's a method type. So what does this constructor do? This constructor creates actual object with the help of new keyword. So in this way you can create any number of objects. So in this Java program, the class term has used. After that, the class name is simple, that is user defined. And again, when class name has mentioned, it has its own block, and in that block it contains its members. Members means variable as well as method. So at least one main method will be there when we talk about Java program, and execution starts with main method. So in this simple class, there is only one method, that is main method, and the signature of main method is public static void main string args. So what is the meaning of these terms? Public is access modifier, means this can be accessed from anywhere from any class, and static word is there. We are calling main method without the help of any object. That is why we are putting here static keyword. And void has present here because this method, main method, is not returning anything to uh, the compiler. And what is parameter here? Parameter contains one array of string which is used at runtime. So this is declaration or signature of main function, and this function or this method contains one statement in this program, that is system.out.println, hello world. So what this method or this line will do, system.out works as an object, and println is a method that will print whatever bracket contains. So output of this program will be hello world. And obviously method has its body, similarly class has its body. And println is a method used for printing on the screen. So take one very simple example how we are creating different objects in dog class. In dog class, what are instance variables? Breed, size, color are string type of instance variable, and age is numeric quantity, that is why we are taking integer type. And again, this class contains one main method, and in this main method we are creating three objects because there are three different objects or dogs in earlier picture. That is why we are creating three objects, and we are initializing here. So how we initialize anything? To initialize any instance variable, the mechanism is you need to write object name dot its instance variable name. Then we mention value. So to initialize all the variables of one object, that is dog1 object, we are mentioning all its instance variable values. Similarly, we can initialize other objects also, and with the help of system.out.println method, we can print all the values of all the objects. So it is very simple. First we need to write class name, then its instance variable, and this class contains one main method, and in main method we will create different objects, and we are initializing them, and at last with the help of system.out.println statement we will print all the values of all the three objects. And in this program we see main method within class. So main method could be in same class or in other class also. So first in this class, again we see student class. Again in this we see there are few instance variables name as roll number and name, and it contains one main method. What we do in next line, we mention class name, then object name equal new, and constructor name. This will create one object with reference s1. And if we want to write s1 dot name, we want to print name, and we want to print its roll number. So what outcome we get in our program? We get null and 0. What is this null and 0 here? In this program, we have created one object and instance variables are mentioned in the class, but we have not initialized them. We have not given any value to instance variable. That is why it is giving its default value. Default value of any string is null, and of any integer it is 0. In this example, we will study how main methods can be in other class and how one class can communicate with other one. So in this example, we are taking class student, and what is student class contains? It contains two instance variable. One is name of string type, and second one is roll number of integer type. And class body you have closed. It means the student class is not containing any method. In second class, and we have given its name as main class. So in this particular slide, we have two classes. One class is not containing any method, and second class contains one method, that is main method. And we can create object of class student, though that class is outside this class, but we can create object of any class in any class if there is access modifier which is allowing, then we can do this. So in this main class there is one main method, and in main method we are creating object of student class, and once we print object name dot variable name, then we get two values. Again, what values we get? We get null and 0, as uh, null is default value of any string and 0 is default value of any integer. How do we initialize any object? Because we have created object, we have uh, given instance variable name. Now we will know how to initialize any object. There are three ways to initialize any object in class or Java programming. One is by reference variable, second one is by method, and third one is constructor. So initialize through reference. What happens in this? Again, same example. There is a student class, and in main class what we are doing, we are creating one object of student class with this statement student s1 equal new and student constructor. This creates one object, say s1. Now we want to specify instance variable value. So in this example, to give initial value to any object, we have to follow object name dot its instance variable name. So s1 dot name will contain Ram, and s1 dot roll number will contain 21. So using this way you can initialize any object, and you can print with the help of system.out.println. And if s1 dot name is written, it means it will print the value, and whatever double quotes contain, that will come as simply message without any evaluation. So what output we get here? Name is Ram and roll number is 21. Now we will take another example, and we try to initialize variables with the help of method. Again, there are two classes, and in this case student class contains one method, and it contains two parameters also. One is of string type and second one is of integer type. So in this case there are two instance variable and one method which is contained in student, and this student class also contains one main method. So this class contains two instance variable and two methods. One method is for initializing variable, and second one is main method to create any object, and programming will starts when it gets main method. So again, to initialize with the help of method, we create one object. And how we initialize any value here? We will call any method with the help of object. We are calling method of class student, so we need to create object of student class, and then we call that method with the help of object. So the syntax is object name dot method name, and we are passing two arguments here. One is Ram and second one is 21. These two values will be passed to the method named method for INTI, and there are two variables are ready to receive these two values. One is s and r, and these two values will initialize of means instance variable name and roll number, and it will contain those values, and you can print with the help of object name dot variable name. In this way you can initialize instance variable of any object with the help of method. Third one is, in this class we will see how to display it. So you have taken methods, and there is also display method. Means without using system.out.println separately, you have defined one method in class student, and what it does, it prints the value of instance variable. See, in this case what happens? you are not printing instance variable value with the help of object, because object has its own property in itself. So to use that, they don't need to take permission of this. Like if you are a carpenter, then you can uh, develop or modify your own furniture or anything without taking permission of that. Similarly, if there is method inside, then instance variable should not be called with the help of object. And if we call from outside, then we need to write object name dot variable name. Now we say using constructor. Now we will initialize variable using constructor. In this line, what you say, again, program is similar, and one special method is visible here. What is that method? Is student, and it contains two variables. Means two parameters are there. Of one is of type integer, string, and second one is integer. And you are initializing here. So one very important point we must think: class name and constructor name both should be same. And in main method, while creating object, see what is different here. While creating this object, we are creating object 1, but arguments are changed here. Earlier in object creation, we have not used any argument, but in this case, we are passing two values here in the constructor, and constructor name and class name should be same. So at the time of creation of object, these values will be passed and called the constructor of student class, and these values will be stored in objects instance variable. And using display method, we can print those values. So we have learned about initialization of instance variable with the help of reference, with the help of methods, and with the help of constructor. So in next lecture we will discuss about something else. Thank you.